Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, it's going to be an Into the Void game between Sorrow and Sephiir here on Acropolis, the latter edition. This was sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of Into the Void, which just means it is a bronze or silver or platinum level replay sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com. and cast by me. Bottom right hand corner is the red Zerg player. It is Sephiir. And in the top left hand corner, the blue Terran player, Sorrow. Alright, man. Lobby stuff here all the way home. Currently 0 APM for Sorrow. Actually, no, now Sephiir took it. He had 0, so nobody is APM spamming in the early stages of this match. Sephiir actually went for 2 Overlords before hatch, before pool. I do this sometimes, but it's because I forget things. And I'm talking on stream usually is when I do this, as I'm chatting with Samacron, twitch.tv/FalconPaladin, and then I make an extra Overlord, and then I have 30 supply available in the first minute, and it's great. Actually, it's terrible, but double gas. Into pool. Alright, this is definitely Into the Void. We have a lot of stuff to discuss here. Terran player Sorrow knows what he's doing more here. He's got his gas, he's got his barracks coming up. He's walling off because he knows he's going against a Zerg opponent. This double gas for Sephiir. Unless this is some kind of a crazy one base roach attack, like a 3 roach opener, this is bad. We're just going to say this is bad. What you want to do against a Terran player is go a hatch gas pool opening, which just means around 16 or 17 supply down here. Throw down a hatchery, then throw down your gas, maybe make another couple drones, and then go for a spawning pool. This here, where you're not even saturating, there you go. Now, ooh, kind of saturating this extractor with 2 drones at the moment. There we go. There's the third one. Getting a queen is very nice. Doesn't have enough gas for speed yet, but should very shortly as we're on 2 extractors. And look, just the 1 racks expand. We're just doing things for Sorrow. Sorrow has, I mean, based on this opening, I think Sorrow's going to win this game. I don't want to spoil anything. I don't know who wins this game, so I can't spoil it officially, but anyway, this is Grog. In a world determined by critical roles, a fairly dim-witted fighter named Grog was searching through a pile of treasure when he pulled out a deck of weird cards. He then pulled a wonderful key card. A mighty sword materialized in Grog's hand. Before his party could stop him, Grog pulled a second card from the deck. Then he pulled the dreaded Donjon card. Grog was sent through the dimensions to a prison, specifically this Reaper suit. Grog wishes he had picked a wizard instead. Yeah, some D&D stuff there. I'm assuming that's the deck of many things. I don't know a lot about Dungeons & Dragons, but that's one thing I'm familiar with. Deck of many things. Basically, if your dungeon master allows it, then it's a source of much randomness, and you can die really quick by drawing cards from that. Or you could get rich, or you can become immortal. Deck of many things is a lot of many things. Anyway, Grog here scouted 2 extractors into lair, into expansion. This is a very interesting build here. You have so much gas, Sephiir. You don't need this much gas. What you need is larva. What you need is minerals. What you need is expanding. Sorrow here is going... Oh, man. He has a build order, you guys. Barracks. Command center. Factory. Starport. That is a 1-1-1 build. Sorrow, you have been watching professional StarCraft, haven't you? Oh, a third hatch. Okay, so Sephiir... Despite me thinking that Sephiir does not like to expand, he has expanded twice in the under 4 minutes here, and he's doing a Maynard transfer. Okay, Sephiir, you are freaking me out, dude. What are you doing with this lair? If you're gonna go lair, first of all, you need to do something with it. A Nidus worm, maybe, that would be fun. Roaches with speed, Hydralisks, lurkers. Oh my gosh, an infestation pit, and a Hydralisk den. Sephiir, what is happening? I love Into the Void for the confusion that it brings to my mind when I see what these people are doing. Now, Sorrow, no. Sorrow has no confusion that he's giving me at all. He's got a starport with a tech lab here. Could just go for Banshee Harass. That'd be pretty incredible, honestly. There's not much anti-air here at all, except for a single queen and a queen with a natural base, which is nice. Third base is going to pop here quite nicely, too. But Reaper needs to get in here and scout things. I would say that for Sorrow. Need to hop up and actually see what's going on and recognize this looks very much like a hive rush. Oh my gosh, it is. 4.5 minute hive timing from Sephiir. Is he going ultras? Well, there's a Hydralisk den though. What do you need? I guess 3. You can go both Hydras and Lurkers on lair attack and get all the upgrades you need for those. I guess Adaptive Talons. Maybe it's like an Adaptive Talons rush? Oh, Sephiir. I love casting Into the Void for stuff like this. Fusion Core. It's a battle cruiser opening from Sorrow. All right, man. He's been watching professional StarCraft. That's for sure. So he's not walled off here, which is a concern. Honestly, a big Ling flood. At 5 minutes, you can get something like 20, 30 Lings up here. Surround, bam, 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 everything dies, everything dies. And then maybe you can hold off on your main base by lifting that supply depot and having like a tank up here, but you can lose your natural very, very easily. You want to wall this off very much. Bring the barracks down if that would help you. Have a tank back here. I'm loving that. I'm loving the double gas. I like the macro we're seeing from Sorrow. I'm really enjoying the fact that he's building a battle cruiser here at 5.5 minutes. There are builds that let you get BCs out faster. Honestly, closer, like they show up at the enemy's base at 5 minutes. Maybe search LOTV.spawningtool.com for specific builds on that. But check this Hive out. I don't know what the Hive is going to do to help him with battle cruisers, unfortunately. Oh, is that a jump sound? Every time I know there are battle cruisers on the way, I get really paranoid about hearing the jump sound. Dude, Sephiir has 130 available supply at the 6-minute mark. And he's using 50 of it. So, I mean, okay. I understand you do want to have a lot of supply available. I like you have multiple queens about each bases, or at each base. You have enough queens to actually handle one battle cruiser. You need 5 for that. So 1 BC is here. Looks like we're going to go for multiples, though, based on the number of starports. With Tech Labs, we're seeing... Is he just going mass BC? That is something you can honestly do in the lower levels, and it's really good. It is much better there than it is at, like, Diamond or Master level or GM. I can tell you that much. All right, so spreading creep out here. I'm loving that from these queens. Reaper did get in. Did he see the Hive? I'd like to know. He did actually see the Hive. He knows it's here from Sephiir. It's got to be like, all right, well, I mean, Corruptors would be fantastic. If we saw Spire coming up from Sephiir, that'd be wonderful. He's sitting about 35 workers on 3 bases, which just means he's not saturated on anything, honestly. His main looks okay, all right, but the natural base has 9 workers. The third base has 9. He is droning, in fairness. He's doing much better than a lot of players we see here. And here's the thing for Sorrow. If you're making a battle cruiser, just jump it, man. I mean, especially at this level, the chaos and the havoc you can cause by just jumping that battle cruiser right over to the main base of the Zerg especially, it's worth its weight in gold. You're going to kill drones. You're going to kill queens. The response might come eventually to it. Hydralisks are not a good response to battle cruisers. They just don't have the HP to stand toe-to-toe with them. But you want to just go with it, honestly. Although, I guess I can see the appeal of wanting to jump 4 battle cruisers at once, because then you just kind of win, for sure. As effectively a guaranteed win at this level of StarCraft to jump 4 battle cruisers across the map into your Zerg opponent's main. There's no way they have an adequate response for that. I'm just telling you now. So what is this going to be? We got some medevacs on the way to heal up all of the bio on the ground, which is approximately 5 Marines. Yeah, 5 total Marines are going to be very well healed up by 2 medevacs, that's for sure. Third base coming in at 8 minutes. A little bit late on that, Sorrow, but otherwise I think you're okay. I mean, you're pretty safe from a lot of attacks with 2 battlecruisers sitting at your front door. But again, these are offensive units. You need to use them offensively. Jump across the map. Or, if you want to be smart, go ahead and swing them across the map. Slowly fly them across this bottom edge. And then pop them into the main base. And then, when they're about to die, you tactical jump back home. And then you can repair them up. And repairing a battlecruiser is actually cheaper than building a new one. In all situations. So, if you can keep it alive and repair it, that is going to be the way to go, in my opinion. What? The Reaper tried to come in here? I think, yep, there's our Reaper. There's Grog. Sorry, Grog. He did wish that he had picked Wizard instead of Fighter, as it turns out. So, a lot of Hydras here, though. I mean, Hydras don't trade well versus battlecruisers, but if they have the numbers, they'll beat them. If you have like 6 or 7 or 8 Hydralisks versus one battle cruiser, I think you can handle that. I'm trying to figure out what the number is. With Queen support too, it's going to be good. The inject's not great from Sephiir. Oh, these multiple injects at the natural. This is good stuff. If you have a lot of energy on your queens because you haven't been injecting like Sephiir here, you click on your queens, you inject onto the hatchery, click shift, and then inject again, and just click, 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 and it will just go ahead and shift click injects on you and store those up for all time and all eternity. I'd like to see these gases. I mean, he took the gases. He hasn't saturated them yet. He's probably will at some point, I guess. I don't know. He is flying the battle cruisers out, and he's going to take a sneaky 4th base. So something about lower level games that I've noticed is people are sometimes afraid to attack. They're afraid to move out onto creep, as there's decent creep here from Sephiir. I mean, it's not world class or anything, but what do we expect, honestly, from Into the Void? Army supply 66 to 82 in favor of Sephiir. He's just going all of the Hydralisks on Earth. He got range for them, and he got speed for them, and he has 3 evolution chambers, but he's not actually spending any of these resources on upgrades. That said, his gas income is not as good as it could be because, again, he's got access to 6 Vespene geysers, and he's only using 2 of them. He's kind of pretending to use... Oh, this one. Here we go. Here we go. 4 on that geyser. Big deal. Battle cruisers, they wait. I mean, the longer you wait here, the more Hydralisks there will be on the ground. Who the heck goes Mass Hydra versus Terran? Honestly, Sephiir. Freaking me out, man. I mean, Hydro, Ling, Baneling? Yes, you can do that versus Terran, assuming the tank count isn't too high. If the tank count is too high, then you want to get some Vipers for Blinding Cloud, which might be a little bit beyond you, to be honest. Expanding up towards Sneaky Base here is Sephiir. I do like his expansion timings. They're not bad. Like a 4th base at 10 minutes, it's actually decent. Sorrow's got his 4th base, actually, before 10 minutes, so good job by him. It's already done. Upgrades yet? No. Gases yet? Not up there. How about here? Looking good at the natural. He is just spending all the gas he gets all the time on Hydralisks. He is maxing out on Hydras. This is the most Hydras I have seen built in a game, I think, ever on the channel. I mean, in fairness, Hydras were bad in Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm. Unless your opponent was, like, rushing Void Rays at you, and then Hydras were incredible, but otherwise they were garbage. And then they made them viable in Legacy of the Void, and then they made them overpowered in Legacy of the Void, and then they dinked around with them, and now I think they're in a pretty good spot where they're decent, but not incredibly, ridiculously scary to play against. Man, this is such good animation and modeling here on that Hydralisk. On all of these Hydralisks, honestly. I like Hydras. Might be my favorite unit. I just wish they were more viable. I guess, can I wish them to be more viable than they are now? Probably not. Sephiir actually doing a pretty good job pulling off workers off this base as it's getting oversaturated, as the mineral patches die. Meanwhile, just more and more battle cruisers, ghosts on the way, cloak coming in here too, and a nuke on the way. Wait, that's not a nuke. That's a research, not a resource. A research. All right, Sorrow, it's time. You have very scary battle cruisers. They have the Yamato gun upgrade. That's it. Yamato cannon upgrade. I always forget which one is which compared to StarCraft Remastered. StarCraft Brood War. Oh, 30 Lings too. All right, man. So Sephiir's going to max out here in about 12 minutes, which honestly is really not bad. He just took a weird way to get here. Also, he needs Banelings, and he's starting upgrades. 1-1-1 across the board for his ground units. Getting adrenal glands for those Lings too. I'm loving that. And this base, look, man, you see this, right? Yeah, so Sorrow is aware there's a base here. He knows there's creep up here. Battle cruisers are, I want to say they're like Mutalisks. I want to say they're like Lings. They need to be out and active and killing stuff, or they're really not worth much. When I watch professionals use battle cruisers, they're always attacking. They're always probing. They're always jumping weird places. They're always harassing. They're keeping the opponent player on their back foot as much as possible. But, I mean, this way, there's just, I mean, has Sephiir scouted at all? Nah, man. Sephiir has no idea where the Terran player is. He's going to find out here soon enough, as this is his first indication there's another player on the map. Ready for this? It's right now at 13.5 minutes. Hey, there's a planetary fortress up here, he says, which he can kill with this army. It's not the ideal army to kill a planetary fortress, but it's enough units to do it. And if you're maxed out, go kill something. Pro tip from Falcon Paladin. If you're maxed out, go kill something. Hey, the battle cruisers. They're doing stuff. Get them, Sorrow. Yamato cannon. Nope. Not recommended you use that on things like hatcheries. Oh, these Lings, though. Can these Lings take down... I mean, they've got +1/+1, and they have adrenal glands. Oh, boy. The Hydras, though. What did that... Was that a jump? I think he just jumped. Goodness, the jump's amazing here from Sorrow. He only lost 1 battle cruiser when he could have lost 3 there. Nicely done, Sorrow. Good timing on that jump. I believe in you, man. So you lost your sneaky 4th base to, again, a Ling Hydra composition, which is just weird. It's extremely strange, but hey, strange strategies will work better at the lower levels for certain. The good news for Sorrow is it's 3 bases to 3 bases. And as anybody knows, that's bad for the Zerg player. He's working on 2-2-2 across the board here, which is he just going to go up this? I would highly recommend not going up that ramp. Surviving tank shots, though. Coming around the outside. Lings trying to focus down ghosts here. Trying to focus down tanks here. The Lings come in by themselves, get largely wiped out after taking out a couple of units. And then the Hydras come in to try to fight against these battle cruisers. The repair. Ooh. Ooh, the repair from Sorrow here is actually pretty great. I'm enjoying that. Look at this. Look at this battle cruiser taking damage and then getting repaired up. No big deal. Boy, howdy. 1-1 Hydra is just melting here. I think they got one of the battle cruisers, but otherwise everybody else is dead. Planetary Fortress getting 30 kills. 30 kills? 18 kills, 6 kills, 10 kills there. Yeah, that was a lot of dead stuff. And then it's time for nukes. Sephiir at this point has lost 10,000 resources. That was a lot of dead stuff, including 49 Hydras and 108 Lings. Let's see if this nuke lands and kills any Hydralisks. Ghost, 17 kills, does get a couple Hydras in the mix, wipes out this entire drone line. And he's got bonus damage versus light, which these Hydralisks are. Sephiir is expanding. I'm enjoying that very, very much. Steady targeting on a drone, which I love. I love the chutzpah there. Steady targeting on a drone. You don't see that all the time. Got some idle workers here, which does show up in the top left of your, of your thingamajig on the left side there. Just your mini-map, I guess. So you can get your drones to work at bases that, by coincidence, don't have any workers at them at all. That was a jump. I heard a jump. Did you jump back here just to get repaired? Sure seems like it. I like to see the repair here from Sorrow. I really do. My only concern here for Sorrow is he's not being aggressive enough. If you're going to beat a Zerg player at higher levels, you have to be aggressive. You got to get out there and wipe out bases. I know he got this one, but it was almost by accident. That base, like, came to him. So Sorrow needs to be moving out. With these battle cruisers, he could honestly just be here, kill this base. He could be over here, kill this base. The Hydra count is not quite high enough, I don't think, to deal with all the battle cruisers that are on the field right now, which is 11. And the upgrades on them, which is the +1 attack for air. That's 11 battle cruisers, man. Just jump. Do y'all have jumps available? Most of y'all. This one does not. But the rest of you, I mean, 10? 10's good. 10's great. Just jump out here and wipe out a base. Let the Hydras come to you. I think you can do it. I know it's 2-2 Hydras and 2-2 Lings. 3-3 has not started here, so here's a little bit gas-starved after losing all of the extractor gas here in his main. He still hasn't taken the extractors at his third base, and the fourth base is also extractorless. So gas income for Sephiir. That is my pro tip to you today. Get gas income. Always have as much gas as you can based on how many bases you have. You're going to want it. You're going to want it for Corruptors and Broodlords. You're going to want it for Hydras and Banelings. You're going to want it for Ultralisks. Like, if you don't have gas, all you're making are Lings, basically, and it's just not enough. Lings are not enough on their own to win games in really any situation. I guess maybe there was a window here for Lings to kind of end the game early for Sephiir, but otherwise, no. Lings are not enough on their own. They are great complementary units. They're great in conjunction with Hydras and Banelings. And honestly, Sephiir needs to be going Corruptors here. If you see this many battle cruisers, Corruptors are your best answer. Corruptors do bonus damage versus massive flying, which is what these battle cruisers are. And bonus damage versus BCs are what you're going to want these days. Additional nukes in the way here from Sorrow. You can see those nuclear silos working away with their magic blue color floating into the sky there. Yep. Ghosts announced their presence. They threw down EMP on drones. Number 1, I like seeing Sorrow use EMP. That's very nice. Number 2, not on drones, though. Oh, boy. These guys. These guys. Look at them run. So that one's dead. They are pretty fast. The Overseers need speed is what they need here. Oh, we went the wrong way. He done messed up right there. Why would you come back around? There are Overseers. Nah. I'm just trying to shoot stuff. Man, if you can nuke the army, like right here. Oh, the Overseers are coming, though. Never mind. Not going to happen. Ghost. Ghost. He's trying to nuke the army. I can tell what you're doing here, Sorrow. As he's got another base up here, obviously. More battle cruisers showing up all the time. More ghosts coming in here, too. Sorrow is maxed out. Honestly, a nuke from, like, right here would win the game. I'm pretty sure Sephiir would just quit at that point. High ground is even better, I guess. No, don't go home. You're supposed to nuke. All right, well, here comes Sorrow with all the battle cruisers in planet Earth. There are 16 battle cruisers, and there are 35 hiders. That's a 2-to-1 ratio. It's not enough, man. 2 hiders are not going to kill 2 carriers. Or 2 carriers. 2 battle cruisers. It's just not going to happen. At all. So here we go. Actually, Sephiir's army has moved out to the south while this has been happening. So, base race? I guess we're in full-on base race mode. Yeah, bases die real fast to battle cruisers when they're in these numbers, even if they just have +1 attack. The hider, all right, the hiders and lings are like, let's go. Let's take down 2 planetary fortresses simultaneously. A nuke going down for some reason. I don't think you need it, honestly. I don't think it's getting off anyway. All right, so the planetary fortresses are done. Overseers are here just in case they're ghost defending anything. So 3rd base toast. Sephiir does not know about this base at all, which might be a nice benefit here from Sorrow. The good news for the battle cruisers is they can wipe out the bases and then just jump home and defend. And by that I mean they're going to jump into the main for reasons. Oh, Sorrow. I don't... Wow. All right. Well, hiders are popping out here and getting massacred, so that's all right. And yeah, we're in base race mode right now. And if every battlecruiser hadn't used his jump, he could have wandered over, done this, and then jumped home and defended against this. But as it stands, no. Not happening. Sorrow is supply blocked. Sorrow has a good amount of bank here. But otherwise, yeah. So, yeah, we're base racing in and into the Void match. That's very fun. Sephiir also getting supply blocked, as all of the overlords he built earlier are still back here outside the main base and getting killed by battle cruisers to some extent. What buildings remain? These ones? These buildings remain. Yeah, if you're base racing, you need to know where your opponent's stuff is, because look, you don't know anything about anything there. The overseers, they think have all died because they keep moving into missile turrets, because Sephiir does not have them on a separate control group. So this would be a decent base race, except for the fact, where are Sephir's buildings? Oh, some spine crawlers right there. Except for the fact that Sephiir doesn't know about this, and also flying buildings are pretty good. You never base race a Terran is generally the concept here. So yeah, all these spines are going to go down, and that's going to be all she wrote. Bam! Sorrow gets the win in 22 minutes and 28 seconds versus Sephiir. 26,000 resources lost for Sephiir. It's 19,000 for Sorrow. Remember to hit that like button if you like what you saw and what you heard today. But analysis. All right, so Sephiir went Hydralisk versus Battlecruiser. That is not a very good idea, in my professional opinion. Hydras, again, do not trade efficiently with Battlecruisers. You need Corruptors. Queens are okay. Queens trade pretty darn efficiently with Battlecruisers, especially with Transfuse. But yeah, Hydra Baneling Ling would have rolled over this in the early stages of the game. And then just throw up a Spire, a few Corruptors. You can take care of the battle cruisers anytime you want, because the Terran's income would be diminished quite severely. Anyway, so battle cruisers are very, very good in low-level games. And they lose their effectiveness the higher you go, unless you rush a battle cruiser and jump it in, and your opponent is not prepared and not aware of it, and then you'll win, basically, at that point. So yeah, Corruptors and Queens, maybe Hydralisk supporting if you want. Hydra DPS is pretty good. Just make sure they're not actually getting hit by the battlecruisers. Make sure the Corruptors are taking most of that fire, because they actually have armor and HP, as opposed to Hydralisks who do not. Also, 3-3 would have been, I don't know, maybe helpful here for Sephiir, and upgrades for Sorrow. You need to make sure you work on your upgrades here. Battlecruisers with upgrades are much better than battlecruisers without upgrades. All right. Well, I think that's going to be enough and it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and an Into the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. And you take care of yourself.
and so you must run. And it's taken your heart and broken your soul. You cannot go back until you're made whole. And you're running into the void. You go searching into the void to find a place you can live, a place you can love. Is it just an illusion? When push comes to shove, there's a light upon you, and you follow it on, looking for reason and a way to atone. All around you, the planets and stars, you're lost in a maelstrom of a great new unknown. And you're running into the void. You go searching into the void to find a place you can live, a place you can love. Is it just an illusion? When push comes to shove, and you're running into the void. You go searching into the void. And you're running into